How did Yale ecology professor Alvin Novick inspire your public health career?
Professor Novick was one of the really inspirational figures in my life. I only took one class with him, but it really opened my eyes to a lot of the challenges that face politicians, policymakers, and a lot of people who are making decisions for large numbers of stakeholders. I took a class that was called AIDS in Society, and Professor Novick had originally started his career as an ecologist, and he transitioned sort of into the area of biology and sociology. And in addition to just being an outstanding professor, he pioneered the idea of the needle exchange. His slant on science was a real sort of human rights perspective. And we like to think that science is very colorblind. In reality, the way that funding works and different things, it's very political. And the types of answers you get from scientific questions really can depend on the type of questions that you're asking. And a lot of times, policymakers and politicians can influence those questions. So one of the things that we learned was that when the AIDS epidemic came to the US, because it was looked at as this gay disease and there was a lot of rampant homophobia, the political response really helped to exacerbate the epidemic. Whereas if it was an infectious disease that was striking down children at that rate, even though we didn't know all the science behind it, there would have been a much, much stronger response to the epidemic, and it possibly could have been stopped, at least in the United States. Instead, because it was this marginalized population, there was a lot of hesitation to do any research around it. Once they discovered what the cause was, there wasn't really much public health mobilization. So that really opened my eyes to the fact that although diseases can be colorblind, our responses aren't always so. And so educating policymakers on sort of the potential overflow impacts of their decisions, I thought was a really important aspect of one of the things I learned. And so again, it was this idea of trying to bridge the scientific researchers and the policymakers and trying to let the scientists understand why political decisions were made and try to let politicians and policymakers understand how their decisions can affect the science.
Yeah.